Welcome to AstroEnergy with astrologer angel Shelley Overton.
Hello, I just got a love electronics. I was a little distracted and just made it in under the wire, but hey, I'm here, I'm excited. My name is Shelley Overton, and you are listening to the AstroEnergy Astrology Show on Blog Talk Radio. Today is December 13th, 2016, and I am in Orlando, Florida, where it appears to be rather sunny, if not a little hazy, but yeah, we're dealing with some warmth again. It's probably going to be up to 81 today, and it's about 73 right now. Perfect. But it is going to be a lovely day, but I think I'll have to put on some shorts. I hope it's nice where you are. Anyway, let's just get right into it. We've got lots to talk about today. So, Uranus. I always start out with Uranus because I do a chart when I talk about what's going on currently. I started doing a chart that starts with Aries on the first house cusp, which is called a natural chart. And that means that all the signs on the cusps of the chart that I'm reading are where they are naturally. So Aries on the first house, Taurus on the second, Gemini on the third, and on around the circle. So when I look at it, I read it left and then I start at what would be 9 o'clock and go around the circle. And that always puts Uranus right in the first house because Uranus is in Aries right now. So Uranus and Aries opposing Jupiter at 18 degrees. So Uranus is at 20 and Jupiter is at 18 degrees Libra. This is a very big week astrologically. We've got so many things going on, including Jupiter opposing exactly over the course, I think it's the 26th, which is 13 days from now in 2 weeks. He will directly oppose, but he is moving into position, and that means a lot is happening right now. We have, let's see, what else? Oh, Venus just went into Aquarius this week. Mars is
I hope you can hear me. I'm sorry, my mic was up too. So Uranus is opposing Jupiter. I'm just going to say it real quick if you didn't hear very well. So Uranus opposite Jupiter and Libra at 18, approaching a direct opposition. Venus is in Aquarius. Mars is about to go into Pisces. And let me see what day that is. Just got to switch charts here real quick. So Venus goes into Aquarius on the 8th, which just happened, and Mars goes into Pisces on the 20th. And on the 20th, Uranus goes direct. Let me see, 26th, excuse me, or 28th. I apologize. I'm trying, and now I say that a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's because my mind's going so fast by the time I start talking about astrology that, I end up, my mouth talks before my thoughts can catch up. So Mars goes in on the 20th to Pisces, Sun goes into Capricorn on the 22nd, and then Uranus goes direct on the 28th, and there's a direct opposition on the 26th between Jupiter and Uranus. We've got Mercury approaching Pluto, which is Pluto and Mercury. Mercury's at 12, Pluto's at 16. And so, let's see, Mercury will be at 16 degrees, and he's about to go retrograde. So he goes retrograde on the 19th, which is another big thing. So he doesn't even get to 16 degrees to be exactly conjunct. He actually goes retrograde. So it's kind of like he's almost right there, and then he backs off. So I'll explain what that means in a second. And then Neptune is at 9 degrees squaring the sun today, moon. And the moon is opposing the sun, so we've got a full moon in a little bit within 6 degrees. And so that should be probably tonight. We'll have a full moon in Gemini. And so the sun is at 22 conjunct a 19 degrees Saturn in Sagittarius. So Moon in Gemini. Moon means that we are talking, oh, now I'm over here, this is what it is. And so their mind works very quickly. They are ruled by Mercury. And that means that they're going to be looking for a lot of different information going back and forth and round and round. And so watch out for perceived lies, perceived untruths, or actual untruths, because it isn't always accurate, because Gemini is an air sign. It lives in the mind. It lives in concepts. And it isn't always the tangible actuality of things. It can be conceptual. So that means that things can change rapidly. You may not know what the truth is, and so that is part of the energy right now. We have an opposition to a 19-degree Saturn. That will probably perfect within the next hour or just past the radio show. So Saturn is wanting structure, wanting tangibility of things, but it's in Sagittarius, so it wants to be active and on the go, and it doesn't want to pay attention to the details. So this energy right now, with the moon coming up on full opposite Saturn-Sun conjunct, means that there are going to be things that, from an emotional standpoint, we don't necessarily want to take ownership of. But from an ego standpoint, some people will be wanting responsibility for those things, and others will be just wanting to move on. So Saturn, the Saturn energy is the authoritarian energy, but the Sun now is past Saturn. So 3 days ago, when the Sun was conjunct Saturn, whatever was being done, we had to take ownership for. We had to make sure that it was accurate, and we knew that that was, in fact, what was going on. And, we had to say you wanted to go on a trip. You were booking the flight. Today, if you want to go on the trip, you may be not sure how that's going to manifest. Things are going to be going forward, and you may have to think on your feet. You may have to drive. You may have to take a plane or a boat. So it's the difference between owning how it's going to be and making it really tangible, or kind of flying by the seat of your pants. So Sun at 22 Sagittarius also means it's moving into the last decade of that particular sign. So it goes Sagittarius, I'm sorry, I had my book there, Sagittarius, Aries, and then Leo. So the last decade is Leo, and that means that it's going to be more about braggadocio and ego, and the Sun rules Leo, so we're going to have a lot more of that drama and stage act, so to speak. It's going to be about the imagery. Time the Sun hits Capricorn, which, again, every time the Sun goes Sagittarius to Capricorn, you're going from freewheeling, risk-taking, and getting a lot of benefit. And a lot of times, Sagittarius is considered the sign of fortune because it's ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter just wants it to be fun and active and doesn't worry too much about the details. And a lot of times the energy of Jupiter and Sagittarius is about taking the risk, and because you're not worrying about the details, your mind is not in the details. You just believe that it can happen, and it does happen. So they are really great manifestors of what they want. So we have a lot of fortunate things happen with Sagittarius. Now, Saturn in Sagittarius wants us to own what we do. It's the pragmatic, earthbound energy of consistency and structure and tangibility. So wherever he goes, he's in that sign, he wants to say, no, you have to back it up. You can't just go and do something. You have the consequences. And it's not just like detail-minded, like Virgo, oh, yes, you have to do this and this and this. It's more like, look at what you've done. And so we have to be a little more careful when the Sun's approaching Saturn. But when he's between Saturn and the sign of Capricorn, you have those 11 degrees where the Sun is going to do whatever he wants, and he's going to get away with it until he hits Capricorn. And that happens on, I think it's the 22nd. What did I just say? Yeah, the 22nd. Sun will hit Capricorn. This is the degree that Pluto hit when we had the housing crisis and the financial crisis, and everything was going on when Pluto went from Sagittarius and hit Capricorn in 2007, 2008. That's the energy. So you're going from freewheeling, I can just do it and get away with it, and life is good, and the coffers are getting filled, to smack dab into a wall. So I can tell you this 11 days, because each degree is a day when it comes to the Sun, is going to be about, I'm going to get away with it. And, what are you going to do to stop me? Nobody's going to stop me. You're going to have a little bit of acceleration even, because Mars is at 25 Aquarius, and that means he's sextile to the Sun. for the next 3 days, they're in approaching sextile, which is 60 degrees apart, and that means they're in cooperation. So Mars is saying, yeah, give me freedom. Both signs are saying, give me freedom. They both really want to not be told what to do. Aquarius, Mars in Aquarius, and Sun. So the Sun is in Sagittarius, which is an active fire energy, and Mars rules the fire energy, Aries. But he's in Aquarius, which is about thought and about mind and multiplicity, where Gemini is duplicity, Mars is multiplicity. So Mars in Aquarius. Aquarius wants many different things. It understands radical, fast-moving information. It comes from every direction. It is the energy of channeling. I can tell you it rules astrology. And when I get in my astrology mode, it is absolutely the energy of channeling, and it comes very fast. So the information is right there. So what we have is a lot of ideas, a lot of information that needs to be gotten out, and the Sun is saying, okay, let's just throw it out there. So you're going to hear a lot of words that are talking about concepts and ideas, and they're not necessarily backed with anything right now. Looking for any kind of other positive thing with Mars. Mars doesn't really have anything other than the Sun connecting to it right now. He's at the end degrees, which means he's wrapping up the energy of this fast-moving, taking action, Mars, on thoughts and concepts, and being supported by ego. The ego saying, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Saturn's following him up. Saturn won't get there until January of 2018 and hit Capricorn. So we have a whole year of really being a little bit more loose with our ideas and the actions we take, although Saturn does want us to own those. When he gets to Capricorn, I can tell you we're going to be owning the actions we've taken in this year and even in last year. It's all going to hit the fan, so to speak. So it's Saturn in Sagittarius. I've said this, for the last year. It's about education. It's about actually politics on some level, money from politics. So we're seeing a lot of that right now. Where's the money coming from? Where are people making money as politicians? Because it's a second house from Scorpio, which rules politics. So the second house from any sign, from any other house, is the house of money from that house. So we're seeing those energies. We're seeing musician energy really strong right now, coming out with songs, music, alternative ways of expressing ourselves within the music realm. Same with education. Again, we've got the vouchers and all the new idea with charter schools coming in, possibly wanting to just do it and not worrying about the fallout. The fallout's coming. The other shoe will drop, and that's going to happen in January of 2018 when Saturn gets to Capricorn. But for Sun right now, 11 degrees, 11 days, we're in a really fast-moving energy. Mars is helping out with this. Let's see what I just say about Mars going into Pisces. That happens on the 20th. So, so probably things will slow down. When Mars gets to Pisces, we're going to bog down, and there's going to be more emotionalism and that energy coming in. And then the Sun goes into Capricorn, and it's going to be the pragmatism of it, the systematic dealing with it. Mercury will be retrograding right around that time too. Mercury is in Capricorn. So the Sun and Mercury are going to clash. I can tell you whatever's going on with the president-elect right now, it seems to be moving forward because we have the Mars sextile Sun. He just kind of got freed up a little bit with the going past Saturn. But he's going to run headlong into the intellectual body, into the systems. Is this the right structure for us? Is this the right thing for us? And then right after that, Sun moves into Pluto, and there is a major shift around the structure and the system. But there's a thinking about it first. We're going to have to go over it, reevaluate it, and that's going to go on into the first week of 2017. And Mercury doesn't go direct until the 8th of January. So the upheaval around systems and electronics, I can tell you small appliances and electronics are going to be really in question right now. I think cars or anything that, again, Capricorn is the second house from Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules transportation. So Mercury retrograding is going to probably be some type of ground transportation issue. I wouldn't be surprised. And I don't like predicting things like that, but when you have Mercury retrograde, and he's going to be right up on Pluto when he does. He's literally like within 2 degrees. Let me see. Mercury, he retrogrades at 15. And Pluto is at 16. So he's within 1 degree of Pluto, which is major life change, and it can also be that energy of volcanoes. So it can be earthquakes, it can be volcanoes, it is ground transportation systems, because second house from Sagittarius, trains, cars, things like that. Then, let's see, we've already got, I think Neptune went direct recently, so that's not a worry. So we've just got the, and Uranus going direct on the 20th. So all of that's happening in the last 2 weeks of the month. And Uranus direct is going to be influencing us with wind and weather. You're going to have electronic issues. Again, Mercury retrograde and Uranus going direct is a huge energy around computers, electronics, internet, blackout, grids for power. Anything electronics, you're going to find it because it's an air energy. So to give you a little bit more of that, I've got today's topic, which is the mythology of Uranus. So, let's just get on to that. I'll get my glasses on here and we can go over some of it. There's always so much about the mythology, and I'm actually kind of interested, and sadly, because I do it when I'm in my astrology, AstroEnergy mindset, it doesn't stick with me as much as I would like it to stick with me, even after I've said it. So thankfully, I have a really good working knowledge of astrology, because I do have the symbology of all the planets and a certain amount of mythology associated with them. I can carry it on. But once again, I'm going to give credit to Wikipedia for some of this. If I had more time to actually, flesh it out further beyond Wikipedia, although I can tell you Wikipedia is like an encyclopedia. I went on there, and I swear every time it's very internet web driven. You go and you find a little information, and it talks about something, and like, well, what is that? And then you end up going to the next page and the next page and the next page. So Uranus, he is the god of the sky, and this is an interesting little thing, that Uranus is different from the other signs the other mythologies I've been talking about, because all the other mythologies primarily are Roman mythologies, but Uranus is a Greek mythology. He actually has a different name in Roman mythology, which is Caelus, but we know the planet as Uranus, and the energy is Uranus, so we are studying Uranus. He is a personification of the sky. He is considered the son and husband of Gaia, and Gaia is the goddess of Mother Earth. So, interestingly, he is also the consort to Gaia, and that happens a lot in mythology, I think. Gaia, Hesiod, or Ether, were one coupling for his parents, or Hemera or Nyx. So Gaia, Hemera, or Nyx. And I'll get to that more in a second. His children, now this is interesting, his children are the Titans, the Cyclops, the Meliae, the Erinyes, the Giants, this is a hard one, Hectonheres, and Athena. So it's really also interesting, if you want to do more research on Wikipedia, they have a genealogy chart of all these gods, which I find really fascinating too, because it actually helps, as a visual person, helps organize it. So Cicero claimed that he was the offspring of Ether and Hemera, and of course Ether, if you think about it, in the ethers, it's a very air connected energy or concept, and it is also considered to be, Ether is considered to be the god of air, and then Hemera is I think the goddess of day. So Hemera would be Gaia Hemera. So that would be air and day. And then the Orpheus hymns, which is the other source, and Orpheus, the Orpheus religion is an ancient Greek religion, so the Orpheus hymns obviously are hymns sung within that religion. They believed that he was the child of Nyx, which is the personification of night, and his brother was Pontus, which is the god of the sea. Now, he had 18 descendants in total from each group, the Titans, Cyclops, and Hecatoncheires. I'm giving it my best shot. But from the drops of his blood, he had the Erinyes and the giants and the Miliae. They came from spilled blood, and I'll get into that story in a second. And Athena was actually born traditionally of his, of sex with Uranus. So he was he imprisoned actually Gaia's children, and one of them, Titanus Theone, his blood was spilled when he was imprisoned, and from that blood came the giants and the Erinyes and the Miliae. Now Gaia gave her sons a sickle, a flint-bladed sickle, which is a curved blade, and asked him to castrate Uranus. And so he was castrated, and from that blood came the Phaeacians, Phaecians, and the belief is that after he was castrated, there was no more sky, and day became night. So that's kind of a general synopsis of his mythology. There is so much more, but I think that's kind of enough for the show. And I guess I just wanted to say that also in observation of Uranus, he is ruler of, like I said, all electronics. He is an air energy, so it connects to all of the electrical energy, and because electricity is a non-tangible, well, not tangible in the sense of physical reality, but definitely conceptual, even though it is a physical thing, but it goes through, it's promoted or expressed through the energy of air. So whenever we have Uranus in the sky doing things, going forward, squaring, opposing, or changing signs or changing direction, you're going to have air energy affected. And that includes, like I said, communications means, transcription, anything that brings communication into our world, electronics and electronic media. So there you go. Anyway, we've got a lot of people waiting in line for calls, and I will probably get to them all. So I want to tell you, if you do want a reading, the number is 347-994-3365, and we're going to take our first call. So 678, hi, how are you?
Hi, Shelley.
Hello. Hi. Who is this?
This is Robin Clayton.
Hi, Robin. How are you doing? Oh, my goodness. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. I just have a few questions. I had called you about a month ago on closing some deals because you know that I work from home
Right.
in a capacity of doing consulting. So at that time, I'm about to close on, I'm supposed to close on a few deals here in the next couple of days. And
okay,
I'm
great.
just trying to find out if that is even going to happen.
In the next couple days, well, let's just look. What kind of, now you said more than one deal? Wednesday.
Yes, there's
okay.
for Wednesday.
Okay. Let me just do a real quick chart for Wednesday. I'm not going to get fancy. I'm just going to put in tomorrow's date, and then I'll pair it with your chart here. And let's see what we have. Okay. So do you know what time of day, actually?
You know, my clients, it's up to them. So by the end of business day, it would be.
End of the business day? Okay. I'm going to actually do it for your time zone. What time zone are you in?
I'm in Punta Gorda, Florida.
Oh, so you're in the same time zone. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Good deal. Okay. Okay, let me just look here real quick. So, you know, of course, like I said at the beginning of the show, you've got Mercury about to turn retrograde, and definitely you're going to want to sign papers if you can before that, because Mercury will be direct, and then he has to get all the way back to where he went retrograde. So he has to get back to 15 for things to actually move forward smoothly, and that's the 28th of January. So I'm tending to believe that anything that's begun, in this week and in next week is probably going to have to be revisited and revised. That's kind of a hallmark of Mercury retrograde. So it goes forward through the signs. So it hasn't hit 15 yet. So he's still in good condition tomorrow. But, if you can sign him, definitely tomorrow, no later. Because, again, he's going to retrograde. So that probably means that during that retrograde period, whatever was supposed to come from that is going to slow down and maybe stall out for a bit until the end of January. So it's probably going to frustrate you, because Capricorn is also a tangible sign. That means that it's going to be in systems. So it means so just as an example, you signed some paperwork. Well, that couldn't get filed for whatever reason, or maybe it was lost and it didn't get to the courthouse, and the courthouse is looking for it, or the courthouse has it stalled out because they've lost it in the system, or they've got 5 different people to have to sign off on it. So, that's the kind of thing. It's just going to be sluggish and details, and in the responsibility, somebody's not doing what they should do, that kind of thing. Okay? So, but if you can get it before it hits 15 degrees, which is, really pretty much close to the day that it's going to go retrograde. Let me go back to my other chart here. I'm bopping all over my computer back and forth between, the internet pages and your chart, and my computer is getting a little sluggish right now, so I apologize. I've got next year's ephemeris up, so I've got to get back to the end of this year. But pretty much Mercury is similar to the sun in that it takes just about a day to go through a sign. So if you're looking at the 15 degrees before you retrograde, it's going to be a couple days. The 22nd, so I guess 9 days. So it's not quite as bad as, or not quite as accurate as the sun, 1 day, one degree. So about a week. But yeah, that actually won't be too bad in progression, because progression astrology means that every degree is 1 year for 1 day. So 3 years from now, Mercury will be 3 degrees down, and or whatever, it'll be move forward that much. And so long term it'll be good. Short term it's going to be a pain in the butt, is kind of synopsizing what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so if I were just to ask one more quick question. So this has been so I've done this work historically in the past for years, and so this year was a new startup. In other words, I went back to it. And so this year I've been productive, and I have secured, I've made money. And now I think we're kind of at the end of the year, but it takes time, just like with any business, right? It takes time to get things going. So I just want to, and I think when you and I did a reading, we were talking about this, and I just want to make sure, and maybe I should just call you offline, and do another one, but you know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that I'm in the right direction. Is this the correct path that I should be taking? Because I don't want to do all of this investment of my time, even though I really enjoy it. We all have to eat.
Well, yeah, to get more in depth about the ins and outs of what it is you're doing, that would probably have to be taken offline. I can tell you, eyeballing it right now, you've got Saturn in a fire sign trining Uranus in a fire sign, and they're both in positive aspect because they're within 1 degree trining. And Saturn's going through your house of money, and Uranus is in your house of work. So they are working in cooperation for you. There's a lot of other activity going on with other planets and other places. But I can tell you definitely what's going on financially and what's going on with your career. And I can also say once Uranus goes direct in your house of work, that's going to be much more in alignment with you, because we've been frustrated with Uranus retrograde, and more so the last probably month, because he's starting to slow down to go direct, which means that all the time he's been retrograde, it was like before he went retrograde, we were hot and heavy to get our businesses started, because Aries is about promotion, about the self, about doing for yourself, being independent, being new energy, like little kids, they just want to go and do. Uranus wants not to be told what to do and loves to have his own business. He is the ruler of entrepreneurship. And so the two together very much are going let's go full steam ahead and make that business happen. And for you, it's in the house of work. So, of course, you're all good, let's do it. retrograde. He's like, yeah, but now I've got to go back. I got to think about things. Things aren't going smoothly. My ideas aren't coming to fruition yet. So it's frustrating. He goes direct the 20, I keep confusing this because so much is going on this week, the 28th. So after the end of the year, even though Mercury's retrograding, it's going to be a lot better for businesses because you're going to, I mean, there's going to be, like I said, the frustration's coming over that time until the 8th of January, but after the 8th, when Mercury goes direct, and very much at the end of January, he'll be direct and past that shadow period. He'll be in the last two decans of the sign, meaning let's go forward and make it really, the systems will work now. And Uranus will be direct for the next 5 months. So you're going to have full steam ahead come the end of January. And probably even after the 8th, when he goes direct, Mercury goes direct, electronics and systems will be much more on board again. So it's just, again, it's that muffling through the end of the year chaos and frustration, and a lot of it is, you know, pulling back and taking time for the holidays, and that's how it kind of comes out in the society. But it is that slowing down. So
all right, I appreciate it, and I am going to give you a call. So I'll talk to you soon.
I look forward to it. Take care.
Thank you.
Sure.
Bye.
Okay, welcome. Bye. All right, and we've got. And let me see, 8:32. I apologize. We do have a few callers, but I'm going to get to you all. But I'm going to take a quickie break, and I'll be right back. In these days of stress, running around, responsibilities, we all need a little place to go to make it all better. Is that place sports, football, or maybe you like to garden, paint, or just listen to music? Wherever your happy place is, you can find a shirt or mug to reflect that happy place. At myhappyplace.rocks, we have a variety of lifestyle products, including iPhone cases, pajamas, and pet items, all with beautiful, colorful designs, which help us go to our happy place. Stop by on the web for great gift ideas for others and yourself. myhappyplace.rocks. Lenny Pickett appears courtesy of Random Act Records. Check them out at randomactrecords.com. And welcome back. You are listening to the AstroEnergy Show on Blog Talk Radio. My name is Shelley Overton, and I didn't really have an ad made up for this, but if you are interested in getting a full reading, I'm having a discount of 15%. There you go. I forgot. 15%, which equals about $20 until December 24th. So if you're getting a reading, you don't have to have it right away. You can. It is fine for gift giving if you want to. I don't really have it set up for anything to like a gift certificate, although you can get gift certificates. And I do have a gift certificate JPEG, so you would be able to download that. But definitely if you want to buy the reading for someone else, you can contact me and I will send off a little certificate that you can give them. So anyway, that's at astrologerangel.com. And you can also get other kinds of readings there as well. So let's go back to the phone lines. 860.
Hello.
Hi, this is Shelley. How are you? Who is this?
Shelley.
Yes.
This
is Shelley?
Are you? Hi.
I'm sorry.
My name's Amla.
Oh, Amla. Okay. Thank you. I think you've called before, but I don't see you under that phone number. Is that
called before? My birthday is this Friday, 12/16, and the year is 73.
Okay.
And so I'm just wondering if there's some really good stuff coming in to my life as far as soul tribe friendships, because I've had to let a lot of people go. I know it's been 9 years, and my personal year is 9 as well.
Okay, hold on before you keep talking. I'm going to let you keep talking, but I need your time of birth and your place of birth, too.
Sure. It's 9:44 a.m., and it's New Britain, New Britain, N-E-W, Britain, B-R-I-T-A-I-N, Connecticut.
Okay. Okay.
CT.
Yeah. Let's see if that'll come up without changing my other. Okay, good deal. Yay! It actually worked today. Sometimes it deletes your birth date when it gets a new place. So, okay. So you're looking to find out what's going on with good things coming into your life?
Yeah, and especially friendships, and everything's taking off, but I don't have reciprocation as far as, like, I'm a good person, and people are just, I don't know, it's just driving me crazy. I'm letting go of a lot of people. So,
well, I understand that, and I actually, if you had not told me that, I would have said that you're going through a 2.5-year cycle of changing out friendships, and it's probably going to have a peak in a year from now. But right now, Saturn literally 2 degrees into your house of friendship, which is, it's also networking and people that you associate with from your career, and it's your soul group. So that's where Saturn is. It's just into that house, and it's going to take right around 2.5 years to go into the next house. So, and it's going to change signs when it goes through. So it's going to shift the energy. Right now, your energy is about growth spiritually and learning more things. It's about finding the people that you need for your soul path. You had Saturn. When Saturn first went into Sagittarius a little over a year ago, it hit your Neptune. Well, actually, over the course of the last year, it hit your Neptune. And then probably about a year ago, and then it hit your Mercury. So that's in your house of higher understanding career and life purpose. So it's really a path of finding what you want to do with your life, and you hit it directly over a year ago. You are on the right path. And then now it's about earning the money from it, going where you need to go, transitioning to a more, I want to say it really is more about you right now. Your career has to be about you. All the Sagittarius energy is really good at expressing a connection to self and to your own desires and being self-motivated, self-interested. And so it is about that. So you're going to be changing your soul group. You know, that's just part of the process. And right now...
Oh, I'm sorry. So this 2.5-year cycle, did it start Friday, the day of my birthday, or is I already am in it? Did you say?
I would say you're already in it. It probably started more pointedly when Saturn went into Sagittarius, which was, I want to say, November of last year. I mean, I don't remember those exact dates for every planet, but I'm in it was
pretty much. You're saying I'm in it pretty much for a year. So that's good.
You're in a Saturn cycle for 2.5 years. You do a Saturn, like a direct Saturn cycle. I mean, there are other cycles that go on within your chart, but Saturn hit your Neptune. Oh, well, let me look at, hold on, I'm going to look at early 2017 and see where it was. I was at 11 degrees. It hit your Mercury January of last year, and it probably was hitting your Neptune in September, October of 2014. Yeah, 2014. Or no, 2015. I'm sorry, 2015. No, January of this year. I'm already in 2017 in my mind. Oh my gosh. No, January. I was talking about it like it was a year ago. It was a year ago, but it was still this year. So, yeah. So January of this year, you were hitting your Mercury, and that means that you were starting to express more of your truth, your inner truth. And you were saying, this is what I believe. And people were saying, whoa, you believe that? Wow, where did that come from? And then it kind of hunkered down into your friendships recently. Only, within the last month probably is when you're like, I just can't do this anymore. I need to forget it. I can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I can tell you when, in October when Jupiter went into Libra, Jupiter rules that Sagittarius energy and everything that's going on with your Saturn and your Sun and your Neptune and your Mercury. So when Jupiter went into Libra, it was also about partnerships and getting your needs met within that partnership. And it also literally just moved into your 9th house out of your 8th, which was the ending of relationships. So you also probably ended a relationship within the last few months, if not last year. So I'm just looking here. Let me find my I have so many windows open. Okay, there we go. Scrolling back down. So, yeah, I'm just going to find out. You had Jupiter go in at 17 degrees of the sign today at 19. So it literally just went in or 18. So it just went in on the 3rd of December. So that was a major shift. And I think that will also be a shift for your relationships positively, but you're opening up more to possibilities, and it doesn't have to look like the traditional way you always thought it should look. So it's opening up for you. Okay? Does that make sense? I mean, you got a ton of freedom stuff coming in for relationships. You've got a lot of spiritual growth for relationships. You've got a lot of autonomy that you're working towards. And I think by October of next year, or 2017, I'm already, like I said, into 2017 in my mind. But by October of 2017, there is a major shift for you, and then Jupiter goes into Scorpio, which will be more commitment, and then you're going to have a big shift around relationships and commitment in relationships and education and travel and everything that also relates to your career. When I just said that, I got chills everywhere. So I know that there is a connection and a shift coming for you in fall of next year for that kind of thing. Okay.
It's interesting. It's so interesting you say that, because fall is always shift time for me. It's been like that for years, because the birthday being in December, it's all about shedding and shifting and revising and reviewing. It's
about your career too. It's about relationship commitments, and then going into the new year. Let me see. Well, definitely the end of the year is big for you career-wise, because you have Scorpio ruling your midheaven, and that's a November energy. And then you have Jupiter currently in Libra, and of course next year it goes into Scorpio, which will influence your career just because Scorpio rules your midheaven. And so when Jupiter gets to your midheaven in 2018, major changes around people paying attention to you for what you do, and many more accolades are coming. But you've also got, and I got chills with that one too. You also have the energy coming in 2018, the Capricorn energy, which rules your subconscious. And you have Pluto in your 12th house and Mercury now there. So the end between now and the beginning of next year, it's a lot about shifting and changing ideology and the structure of what you always thought. You're really changing how you think about yourself, how you think about career, how you think about friends, how you think about getting your needs met. It's all like a huge renovation. And it's, everything in your chart in that area deals with other people. It's transpersonal as opposed to personal. I mean, it is personal on some level, but it's also transpersonal, meaning career and life purpose. So, okay.
Yeah. That makes so much sense. I'm really looking forward. I think we all are for 2017, because it is a 1-year numerology-wise. So new beginnings, bring it on for sure for all of us.
Well, I keep slogging through those 8s and 9s, and now the year changes, but I still got a 9. It's like, can we just get to the 1s? I'm so ready.
I know. Yeah. My personal year actually happens to be 1 next year as well. So my personal year is 1 and the year's 1. So I'm excited.
I've lost track. I think this is my 9 year and next is my 1 year as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I've got a lot of 10s in mine. I have, my birthday is 9/10/1964, so I've got 1 and 9 in my month, and then I have 1/9, which is 10, and then 6/4, which is 10. So it's 10/10/10, and then it boils down to 3. So that's a master number. So if,
as well. That's interesting.
Is it? So we have the same. We have a similar stuff there. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shelley.
You're welcome. Thanks for the call. You're on the right path. Don't worry about it. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and happy birthday. So much going on.
Thank you so much, Shelley.
You're welcome. Take care.
Okay.
Thanks. Same to you.
You too.
Bye. Okay, let's go to 612. Hi, 612. How are you?
Hi, this is Karen. We've spoken once before.
Okay, let me see if I can grab your chart. I've got 8 of, I've got it. December 19th. Happy birthday to you, too.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
My goodness.
So, here's my question.
Sure.
In terms of what I do for work, which is freelance, mix of freelance and contract, I'd love to figure out a way to get a little more consistency, wouldn't every freelancer, in terms of what comes in each month, just for planning. So I'm wondering what qualities or things could I focus on to give that the best chance of happening?
Okay. Consistency for you has to be creative. And so if you can do things that are tangible around, like, I don't know if you have a studio or do art, or do you have any creative, what is your creative outlet?
Actually, that's what I do as a freelancer. I'm a writer.
Okay, maybe, so that's a little bit more difficult to translate, but I would say as a writer, start creating file systems and workplace things that would channel some of your creative ideas, because, I'm an artist, so I'm right now renovating my studio. That's a good tangible art thing to do systematically, but you need a system for your career, so you need to find a way to make systems, and that's Capricorn, because that's where I'm looking for organization. It's about Capricorn, and you need to do that. And also you have Venus in Aquarius, and Mars just left your house of work in Aquarius. But Aquarius is about clutter clearing and having clarity of thought, and that includes the systematic organization of the Capricorn energy right now. So I would say any kind of file system, like clean out old ideas, go back over them. If there's something that you want to write about, then put it in a file that says, definitely writing a book or an article about that. Do the files, and then organize your files around subjects, around the creative idea. And also, probably because of the Aquarius energy, I would also go online and join groups of writers and bounce ideas off of them, but then I know this so well, you are a creative type. You can easily generate paperwork, easily generate messes because of the ideas. So have the systems in place, and I look around, and I recently thought of this. I have so much paperwork because I don't have a workflow. So if you have a workflow, if you evaluate your workflow going, okay, I get an idea, then I want to expand on that. So I have to have a file folder. I have to have a computer file folder that is associated with my tangible world file folder. And then I have to go through this system and that system and this process and have things in place for the process of the creative side. And then when things come up, you know where to put them. And then the other thing I would suggest, especially with the Aquarius and the organizational, is having a calendar that will, and this is what I've started doing, and I'm going to even get better at it. I use a Mac, so I have this, and if you use Google, you can use a Google Calendar. Have it come up so where it shoots an alert to you. Put all of your things into the calendar through the course of the year, and maybe even goals, so that every week or every day when you go in, up pops what you're supposed to do. And then that, and especially if you use Google Docs, it's associated with some kind of document, and that may pop up too. I don't know how Google works really well. I've resisted Google for many years, but now I'm not fighting it anymore. I cautiously use it. But that kind of thing. But definitely get the systems in place with the creative flow, and then that will help you be more disciplined throughout the year, especially if you use a calendar that pops up in your face every day saying, oh, you got to be doing this. That's a really good way to do it.
And good news is I do. I have an editorial calendar. But I understand what. One quick question. You said Venus in Aquarius. Is that in the natal chart, or is? Oh,
it's
okay.
Actually transiting. No, it's transiting. Yeah.
I'm wrong. I thought it was in Capricorn. Okay, great.
Your natal Venus is in Capricorn. The transiting Venus is in Aquarius. Now you just had a Venus return. Couldn't get the word. Okay. Yeah, you had a Venus return. But now it's moving on, and it wants you to get clearer about your work, and you're probably going to be coming up on a Chiron conjunction with Venus. That means some type of work situation involving a woman and something that triggers a wounding you've had in your past life, so most likely freedom. It's going to be someone insinuating that you're not doing the job that you thought you were doing, or you're not giving it what they need you to give, and challenging your intellect. because Aquarius is about the intellect. So the wounding is around the intellect. It's around healing. It's around anything where you might teach people. This is a woman coming through, and it can be a sister, it can be a friend, it could be a coworker, but she's coming through and she's going to challenge you. Let me see. I'll even give you that date when she gets to 19 degrees Aquarius, which is on Christmas Day. So probably a family member.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shelley. I know you've got other folks waiting to talk to you.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to listening.
Yeah, well, I want to say happy birthday and Merry Christmas, and don't let her get to you, okay? Because it's just opening an old wound, and you're on the right path. Things are going well, and believe it or not, Venus going into your house of marriage and partnership could bring also money because it moves into that more tangible energy. Let's see. Well, it's Pisces, and that's also dreams. So it's the vision of the dream and manifesting it. And Venus is money, so into partnership with money. So I'm just going to throw that out there. And
okay, great.
I'll say goodbye. Thanks for the call. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Okay. Bye. All right. Let's take 727. Hi, 727. How are you?
Hey, Shelley. It's Erin.
Oh, hi, Erin.
Hey.
My computer's a little slow, so give me a second here. And, just a minute. It's actually asking me to give it some answers. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. You've called before, you said?
I had an issue with a fellow who's causing me some financial issues. You were talking about all the financial hiccups. And I just filed a complaint with his company. Does it look like they're going to get the fellow sorted out, do you think?
Okay. How long ago did you file the complaint?
I filed the first one on the 9th, and then I retracted it because he said he'd sorted it out, but apparently he didn't actually sort it out, so I just filed it again today. They're supposed to get back with me within a day. I just don't know whether getting back with me means a bunch of back and forth now.
Okay. You filed it on the 9th. Well, that's good that you filed it before the retrograde because I think it will get sorted out. Can you say you filed another one today?
Yeah, I filed it on the 9th, but then I actually canceled that one because he called me, as soon as he saw it was in the system as being filed complaint, he called me back and said, oh, no, we've sorted it all out. But as of today, it still seems to be a problem, so I filed a second one.
Okay. Did you talk to a person at all?
No, I had to do it electronically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course you did. Venus is in Aquarius, exactly conjunct to the degree, almost to the minute, within 2 minutes of Saturn in your natal chart. So that means Venus is at 6:53 and Saturn's at 6:55, which means you are resonating to this. You're kind of tenacious and you're not going to let it go. Aquarius will give you a lot of unusual things and crazy things and things that aren't expected. So I think that you're pretty tied into this, and I think that it may not be a directly straight path to getting it resolved. Once Mercury gets into your 8th house, then that should be a resolution. But that's not going to happen soon because Mercury goes retrograde before he gets there. So it's going to be 2017. Let's see, he's got to get to 25. So it will be the 4th of February, which is also an Aquarius month, by the way. So, yeah, you're going to have some energy. I think that there will be some light shown on it when Sun gets to Aquarius in January, the 20th of January. It really is. Sadly, doing anything during this time with Mercury about to retrograde, it gets it really frustrated. And everything for that is Capricorn and Aquarius are in your house of legalities. And that I would lump that into a legality, like you're filing a complaint, which is an 8th house energy. So I think Mercury getting over there, definitely getting to the 25th, and then also the Sun is coming up on it. So Mercury and the Sun are going to be kind of in the same area at the same time. Let me see here. Mercury goes into Aquarius on the 8th of February. Sun's there until the 19th of February. So, yeah, I think all the energy going into it is going to happen in January and February. So Yeah. What was this is a work complaint, or what arena?
It's a business exchange. I had purchased something from him in August, and then
right. Okay, Venus's purchase.
Yeah, and then he, for whatever reason, the fellow is just acting. Everything was going smoothly, and all of a sudden, just last week, he basically said, "Oh no, you never purchased it." But he's been providing the service up until last week, but he's actually causing a huge financial issue for me that he's not providing.
Oh no.
Service.
And I can tell you, there's something going on with a woman, and it's more than one place in your chart. So you have Venus and Saturn in your house of joint finances, so that's also Venus's purchases, and then you have Vesta at 5 degrees Leo, exactly opposite your Venus. So there's women, and Vesta is the difficult woman in your house of finances. So is the person a woman that you purchased? You said it's a man? The purchase was actually done with a woman that worked for him. I suppose that could be. Okay, and that's the difficult part. That's the difficulty too in your chart. So yeah, it's coming around a woman, and you're going to have to fight because you have Venus on Saturn. So Saturn is having to own something, and it's electronic. So you're really, until Venus gets out of Aquarius. Mars is about to go out of Aquarius. But it's going to go into Pisces. Pisces is the sign of Neptune. So it's going to be about the emotional qualities of it. I think you're probably going to have some more emotional qualities. But Venus on Saturn, it's like having to own the situation. And I think, having to file that paperwork is owning the situation. So it's difficult. I'm not going to kid you. And I think that it may resolve in a way that you're not necessarily aware of yet. And I think when Mercury comes through... I wouldn't have had to hire the fellow if another person was keeping their contract with me.
Right.
So
I basically hired him to make sure that I could work around this other person's lack of ability to keep their contract. So I've actually got someone working on that person to try to get them to actually, come back into compliance with their contract.
Mercury is going to help.
Okay.
And then again, like I said today, when you filed the initial complaint, Sun was coming up on Saturn in the house of work. So that complaint probably has more power than the one today, just because Sun is past Saturn. So right now it's kind of like we can do what we want. Mercury is going to go retrograde. Things are going to be reviewed. And then when Mercury gets into Aquarius like I said, the end of January into February, it's going to probably come back then. I'm sorry to say, I think it's going to take a while.
Okay.
So it's going to be a couple of months. Okay. Thanks. Have a good holiday. All right. Take care. Bye. Thanks. Okay. We have 60 seconds of live recording, and then we're going to have some extra recording. I'm going to take, I think I'll probably only get to one last call, and the one I was just about to take. No, there it is. Okay, great. 623. Hi, 623. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
Good. Thank you for waiting.
Yes, and 4/1/1959 is my birth date, and you have it.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, I do. Maria?
Yeah, from
Hi, Maria.
Hello. I have been through hell in the last month regarding work. Is there any hope regarding work in the next month? In the next month, like let's say 2 or 3 months, I don't know.
Yes, there is hope in 2 or 3 months. You also have Aquarius. You have Aquarius energy in your house of work, and so Mars is wrapping it up. You have Mars exactly at the same point as Chiron, which is the wounded healer. So it's triggering that wounding that you had. So you're definitely feeling this energy of uncomfortable qualities. Like this distaste for what's going on, because Mars is aggressive and your Chiron is like, this is where I've been hurt the most in my life. So I want to give you a perspective that this is actually helping you heal, and Mars is triggering it so that the deep stuff can really come out. You can finally move forward with some of the wounding that you've had. Venus will be going over that same spot also coming up. Let me find that. Hang on one second. Are you there?
Yes,
Are you
I'm
still
here.
there? Okay, you're so quiet, and the electronic part of the show, they said it ended, the recording, so I wasn't sure if you were still there. Okay, so Venus will be going over the same point when? On the 30th of December. So just before the very end of the year. So I think that's kind of like when you will be able to say, hey, this is not okay with me. I'm not comfortable with what's going on here. And you'll probably have more say at that time. And then actually that's when I think that you're going to probably have a confrontation. You said it's a woman at work. Is that what you said, or something going on at work?
No. I resigned to my last work. My last job. And now I'm doing a temporary. A temporary job. Now I'm doing temporary. But I was looking more like a full time. But this temporary, I don't like this temporary. Sincerely, this is not for me. But it's a temporary.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you're looking to get a full-time job? Is that what you said?
Yes, I'm doing a temp right now, but I don't like my temp, the temporary job.
Right.
So that's probably what you're seeing, like the confrontation. I don't know. Who knows? God knows.
Well, I do think that work is looking up. I think Venus will be coming up on Mars, and that is definitely taking action. I think that you're going to end up doing something that's more in alignment with what you want to do and more of what you desire. Mars will be going into your house of marriage and partnership, so there's some connection to having help there. And also I think you've got some idealized things coming in, or a desire that you've been having around marriage and partnership. So I don't know if you're thinking of a possible partner, but that would be a good thing to move towards. Let me see. I'm sorry, it's kind of a difficult connection hearing you, but
that's fine. I'm listening to you.
Okay, great. There it is. Okay. Definitely coming the beginning of next year, you've got some shifts and changes going on around home and family, but they also relate to your career and your life purpose. So this is what I want to say to you. Over the next 2 months, you're going to have to be redoing some things, and definitely I think there's going to be more time spent around family members, and there could be something that you're having to be responsible for there with the elderly. I don't know if it's a mom or a father, but somebody in your family.
They are gone. They are gone.
Okay. Well, there's some issues. I mean, you've got Saturn and Capricorn in the house of family, and that's where your life purpose falls, and it's at the end degrees of that. You're definitely going to be going through a little bit of shift. Well, not a little. The big shift came in 2007 for you, and then 2007, 2008. But in the course of the next year, you're going to be, let me put it another way. In 2018, when Saturn goes into Capricorn, you will be wrapping up some old energy around your family life and things that have to be squared away. Right now, in the next 2 months, Mercury is going retrograde back over that space for you. So you're going to be having to deal with some of, probably, I don't know how long ago your parents are deceased, but, Mercury is wanting to square away some of the old issues that had to deal with the elderly, and those will be coming up in the next month, and then you're going to be able to move forward. So that may be, finding money from family members or looking for help with siblings or from children or things like that. But definitely your chart shows me that you're moving towards like a more autonomous or more independent way of dealing with things. And I think that things are going to be going forward positively. You've just got that one difficult area right now. Over the course of the next month or two, I think that it's going to be clearing up, but you've got some roadblocks around family and creativity and multiple ways of earning an income around the work environment. So I think things are going to get a lot better for you also after the 28th when Uranus goes direct, because that's joint finances. I think you'll be finding some unexpected money coming in, an inheritance or a friend or some type of thing that you had forgotten about can come your way. There'll be some opportunities there, and that's also a partnership opportunity if you're thinking of starting your own business.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of this keeps pointing towards sister. Do you have a sister?
No, I don't.
Do you have any kind of friend who you feel more sisterly towards?
She is in Puerto Rico, but it doesn't. No, it doesn't make.
No. Okay, it doesn't have to make sense because we're dealing with love for you, and you may not necessarily expect it, but it's coming in. So, yeah, I think that there may be some opportunities you're not aware of yet, but they're going to be coming. So over the course of the next couple months, I think they're going to be coming to the surface for you. Okay?
Okay. Good.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, good luck. I think that something's coming together for you to be able to do more work either online or consulting kind of work, something freelance. Okay? And
okay.
Definitely temporary work fits in with that too, that there's going to be, it will continue to help you in the temp field. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. All right. Take care. Have a happy holiday. Bye.
You too.
Thanks. Okay, that's the end of the show. Thank you for listening. And next week we tackle Neptune. So we will talk to you then. And yeah, end of the show. Bye. Take care. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at Ironwood